Do not take baking soda casually, and do not assume it is harmless just because it is common in the kitchen. Baking soda has very specific effects inside the body, and depending on how and why it is used, it can either provide short-term relief or quietly create long-term damage. Understanding when it helps, when it does nothing, and when it makes things worse is essential before using it for health reasons. What baking soda really is. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate. It is an alkaline compound, and it is not foreign to the human body. In fact, your pancreas produces sodium bicarbonate naturally every day. Its job is to protect the small intestine from stomach acid and to create the correct environment for digestion. When highly acidic stomach contents move into the small intestine, the pancreas releases bicarbonate to neutralize that acid. Only then can digestive enzymes properly break down fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. If this bicarbonate release is inadequate, digestion becomes inefficient and symptoms begin to appear. Why digestion fails when this system breaks? When pancreatic bicarbonate is low, digestive enzymes cannot function properly. As a result, fats remain undigested, food ferments instead of breaking down, and the intestines become irritated. This is why people with pancreatic dysfunction often experience severe bloating, loose stools, constipation, greasy stools, and persistent digestive discomfort. Healthy digestion depends on a very acidic stomach and a mildly alkaline small intestine. Neutralizing stomach acid at the wrong time disrupts this entire system. When baking soda may help, and when it should not. Baking soda can temporarily reduce excess stomach acidity, but this does not mean it is appropriate for all digestive symptoms. Indigestion is commonly misunderstood. Most indigestion is caused by low stomach acid, not excess acid. When stomach acid is too low, food sits in the stomach, ferments, causes pressure, cramping, and nausea. In this situation, taking baking soda worsens the problem by further reducing acid. This is why substances that increase acidity, such as apple cider vinegar or betaine hydrochloride, often relieve indigestion quickly. Acid reflux and GERD a different situation. Acid reflux and GERD involve acid moving into the esophagus, often due to poor stomach function or delayed emptying. In these cases, a very small amount of baking soda may temporarily reduce burning and discomfort by neutralizing acid. However, this should only be a short-term measure while the underlying cause is addressed. Long-term reliance on baking soda for reflux is harmful and counterproductive. Gastritis and stomach lining damage. In gastritis, the stomach lining is inflamed and sensitive. Reducing acidity temporarily may ease irritation, but baking soda alone does not heal the stomach lining. Healing requires targeted nutrients, such as zinc carnosine, along with removal of irritants and restoration of normal stomach function. Neutralizing acid without healing the tissue only masks the problem. The danger of chronic use. The normal stomach pH ranges from 1 to 3, which is extremely acidic by design. This acidity is required to digest protein, absorb vitamin B12, absorb minerals such as iron and magnesium, and destroy harmful bacteria and pathogens in food. Using baking soda regularly neutralizes this acid and leads to poor digestion, nutrient deficiencies, increased infection risk, and long-term gut dysfunction. This is one of the most common mistakes people make with home remedies. Does baking soda make the blood too alkaline? In most healthy individuals, baking soda does not permanently alter blood pH because its effects are short-lived. However, excessive or frequent use can disrupt electrolyte balance and cause muscle weakness, cramping, or abnormal sensations. This is not something to experiment with casually. Oral health benefits with limitations. Baking soda can neutralize acids produced by bacteria in the mouth and help reduce plaque formation. For this reason, it is often included in toothpaste. However, sugar is the primary cause of oral acidity. No amount of baking soda can compensate for a high sugar diet. Kidney disease and acid load. When kidney function declines, acid builds up in the body because the kidneys can no longer regulate pH effectively. This excess acid can cause skin itching, fatigue, and metabolic stress. In some medical situations, baking soda is used to reduce acid load and ease kidney stress, sometimes even delaying the need for dialysis under supervision. This is a medical use, not a casual home remedy. Fasting, high meat intake, and nighttime acidity. During prolonged fasting, intermittent fasting, or heavy meat consumption, some people experience increased acidity, especially when lying down at night. Occasional, minimal use of baking soda may reduce discomfort and improve sleep, but this should never become a daily habit. Athletic performance and lactic acid. Some athletes use baking soda to buffer lactic acid during high-intensity exercise, allowing slightly longer performance before fatigue. Incorrect dosing often causes nausea, bloating, and digestive distress. This is not appropriate for general fitness or unsupervised use. Kidney stones, gout, and uric acid. Uric acid dissolves more easily in alkaline environments. For this reason, baking soda may temporarily reduce symptoms of gout or lower the risk of uric acid kidney stones. Long-term prevention still depends on reducing fructose, sugary drinks, and ultra-processed foods. Urinary tract and topical uses. In some cases, altering urinary pH may make survival harder for certain microbes, but this does not replace proper treatment for infections. Topically, baking soda can help neutralize acidic insect venom, such as from fire ants or bees. It should not be used for wasp stings, spider bites, or snake bites, where it can worsen tissue damage. A critical safety warning: never mix baking soda with vinegar or lemon juice. This reaction produces carbon dioxide gas, which can cause severe bloating, pressure, and pain in the stomach. Baking soda is not a harmless cure-all. It is a powerful chemical buffer with very specific applications. Used correctly and sparingly, it may provide temporary relief in certain situations. Used blindly or chronically, it disrupts digestion, nutrition, and long-term health. Knowing when not to use it is more important than knowing when to use it. If you found this explanation helpful, take a moment to pause before trying home remedies you see online and start asking better questions about what your body truly needs. Health is not about quick fixes. It is about restoring balance in the right place, at the right time, for the right reason.